In kicking off your career as an Agile consultant, there are really two types of lived experiences that will allow you to be a successful Agile consultant. Number one is that you've worked in the Agile industry as an employee at some point. You've been a Scrum Master, so you understand how to support and be a servant leader to your Scrum team. Or you've been an Agile Coach, so you understand that role and all the practices therein. And now you are in a position where you are ready to package your knowledge and start to sell what you know as a service. Then there's lived experience number two. Lived experience number two is where you already have an existing consultancy and you're ready to pivot and lean into the Agile market. Maybe you are a leadership consultancy or professional development and you are curious about what it would take to get started in Agile. If this is you, then you are in luck, because this, my friends, is exactly what we're going to unpack on today's topic on this channel, Acing Your Agile Career. Don't go anywhere. Hi, my name is Dawn Nicole McElwain, and welcome to this channel called Acing Your Agile Career. If this is your first time, we're glad to have you. If you've joined us before, Acers, then welcome back. So today we're going to talk about getting started as an Agile consultant and the 6 things you need to know to position yourself for success. Now, as I break this down, it's important to understand that I am uniquely qualified to bring this topic forward, and I'm passionate about this topic. Here's why. I've played almost every single role: certified product owner, Scrum Master, Agile Coach, and I've been an independent consultancy. And it's very rare that you sort of get someone with all of the experience in one, right, who's sort of played this dual role. So today, I'm going to talk to you about how you pivot and turn your knowledge into a service, thus becoming either an independent consultant or setting up your consulting business. By the way, the reason I'm talking about this topic is I'm already helping people do this today, and I thought this would be a great topic. So let's jump into the first thing that you absolutely need to know if this is you and you're getting ready. So number one, you have to understand the Agile transformation services as a market, as an industry. And when I talk about understanding it as a market, you need to understand what Agile transformation services mean by and large: the size, the scope, the scale, the companies or organizations therein that are quickly adopting, have adopted, who's not yet adopted, or who's slow to adopt. I will tell you, before COVID-19, pre-pandemic, moving to Agile ways of working was sort of a luxury. Okay. Now, post-pandemic, it is more of a necessity. In order for companies to win and to succeed and compete, they're going to rip and borrow and leverage some component of Agile in order to keep on moving, to remain competitive. The question is, what size and scale? So you understanding the market consultants is going to be really important by and large. What are the roles and some responsibilities? Not that you will play each role, but you might be tasked with staffing those roles or bringing these roles on a contract. So this is information you really want to understand. This is also what's going to separate you from a coach and from a Scrum Master, because they are not tasked with understanding the full market. They are tasked with understanding their job. So if you need any support on this, check out on the screen. There's the Certified Agile Transformation Professional course. It's an online course. It teaches you everything you need to know. It's certified and accredited. Check it out. A lot of consultants start there. Number two, you need to also understand and know about the Agile principles and values, and not just know them, embrace them. So a great way to get this information is to download the Agile Manifesto. If you've already worked in the Agile space, then you're quite familiar with the Agile Manifesto. But if you're thinking about consultancy, I would say get re-familiar with it, download it again, figure out which principle and value really resonates with you. So again, not only understand the Agile principles and values, but the frameworks that support the principles and values. The way that I typically teach Agile, and not that I'm teaching you here, but I just want to separate the difference between being Agile and working in Agile, okay? So I always tell people that the Agile principles and values, which embody what Agile is really about, they allow us to be Agile and think Agile, but that's not enough to work in an Agile way. In order to support the thinking and being, we need a framework so that we can execute this day in and day out. So think of those frameworks as the frameworks that support Agile principles and values. And again, for number 2, you sort of want to know these two in tandem. By the way, there are all types of frameworks out there. Scrum, by far, is what I call the original, the OG framework. There's Scrum, there's Kanban, there's Lean, a version of Agile, Lean Agile. There is Scaled Agility, there's Crystal, there's XP, there's all these different types. So make sure you get familiar, consultants, with the frameworks and the principles and values, okay? Number 3, this one is near and dear to my heart. Number 3 is understanding the work of transforming, right? And when I talk about the work of transforming, what is the end-to-end process? If you were to be hired, you and your team right now, to help a company transform on a large or medium scale to Agile, what would be the steps from where you start to a steady state? Okay, there are steps. This is irrespective of the framework. So this is not the same as understanding the framework. This is the steps for transforming, the journey. What does that journey look like? Okay. You'll need to understand that because the client will be looking to you to help them navigate through each step. You'll also want to understand if the client is where they are in transformation. Maybe they've taken care of step 1 or 2 and they really need you for steps 3, 4, 5, so on. So you really need to understand or have some sort of guide to help you think through transformation. And if you don't have this, you're in luck, because this is actually one of the techniques that I teach many consultants who come to me for this. There is a technique called SOLID, SOLID. It is a framework that helps you think through transformative change in a manner of phases or steps. So I would say if you want that, look at the screen, download that. It's free to you for being on this channel today. Download it, have fun. It's going to give you those steps, okay? But understand, start to steady state. I had someone argue one time that transformation is forever. Transformation is actually not forever, right? Let's just be really clear. The act of transforming it really has a start and, moving from, moving to. And once you deem that you've moved to, the goal is to sustain that transformation that you just went through, okay? So it's not like a forever thing. Like we don't bake a cake forever, or we're not, hitting our ideal weight forever. We hit it and then we sustain it. And so that's the way to think about transformation, is start to steady state. More on that later. So let's keep going. Number 4, you also want to understand the tools. What is the tooling that I need for every single step of this transformation? But not just tooling, you all, Agile tools as it relates to transformative change, but also Agile tools that are popular in the industry. What are our Scrum Masters using today? And not just Jira and Jira Align, those are great as well, but Miro and Mural and Trello, right? And understanding just all these different tools that Scrum Masters use, that Agile coaches use. What are the cool popular tools? A lot of this will come up when it comes to the digital transformation, because the digital transformation runs parallel typically with an Agile transformation. So consultants, you need to understand the tools that are popular in this industry, okay? So more to come on that later. We talk about that in my Solid Start program, but that's another topic for another day. Then number 5, it's time for you to start building your network of Agile people. Now, I want to be really specific. When I talk about Agile people, these are the people in the roles. Remember, as a consultant, you are likely winning the business, building the relationships, gaining the trust of your new client to do work, right? To solve a problem. And oftentimes you might need other people to help you solve this problem. You might need to bring a Scrum Master on, or an Agile coach on, or partner with another consultancy. So it would behoove you to start to build your Agile people network. I would always build my network before I actually build my network with the clients, just so you know, right? Have that network ready to go, locked and launched, know who they are, build rapport with them, introduce yourself. You're going to need it, especially if you're looking to scale, okay? And this brings me to number 6. The final tip I have for you is build your network of Agile Enterprises. These people will become your clientele. They will pay you money to solve a problem. All right. So, but you need a clientele if you're going to sell services, and you don't just want to approach people as one-offs. You want to start building your network. So find out, actually, go to Career Builder, Monster. I'm probably old school. Indeed. I'm trying to think of some, go to these job job boards and find out who's hiring for Agile roles, right? It will list the company names, and then reach out to some of these key players on LinkedIn, the director of Agile or the hiring manager. Make yourself known. Make sure that you're registered as a provider in their network. So anyway, there's a lot more to come on this. That's a different video, but my point is, again, build that network of people, build that network of enterprises. And you all listen, consulting doesn't have to be this big scary thing. It is really you taking what you know, what you've done. People will pay you money to tell them or advise them through a problem that you solved. What did you do when you faced this problem? How did you overcome it? People will pay you for your knowledge. My friends, that's called consultancy. So I hope that this was inspiring. I hope you got a ton of value. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share this video with your network, your colleagues, your peers. And you all, again, until next time, keep it real. This is Dawn Nicole, where I give you real advice from a real practitioner in her real office. So as always, right, keep it real and keep on advancing that Agile career.